Every COD player has certain maps they love to play on, but what about the opposite? Those instant vote to skip maps. Maps you don't just want to vote to skip, but vote out of existence. Let's have a look at some of the worst maps in Call of Duty games over the years. Just a quick disclaimer, if you happen to like any map featured in this video or disagree with my assessment, that's alright, please do stay calm. The maps I'm going to be looking at here are all based on how often I've seen them voted to be skipped over my 10 years playing Call of Duty now. Let us begin. COD 4's base game maps are pretty much a clean sweep of perfection. I do remember Downfall being skipped a lot though, probably for the rain on this map, which is fair enough, especially if you're from Scotland. When it rains 24/7 in your reality, you hardly want it to be raining in your virtual world too, so fuck that. The 4 DLC maps they had nearly had a home run too if it wasn't for Creek. Just something about Creek which didn't quite click with COD fans. I reckon it's the emphasis on sniping in this map. It's huge, and if you dare to pop your head over the hills, prepare to have your head blown clean off within 2 seconds. Next up, Call of Duty World at War's original maps are doing pretty well for themselves too. Some may be a bit big for some players, but for the most part they were all solid maps. It's when you get into the DLC maps again, it's getting a bit dodgy. Station is possibly too linear for people. I rarely played this map at all, and same goes for Nightfire, although nighttime maps are always fighting an uphill battle. Breach was another because I actually don't have a personal opinion on this map really, because it was skipped 9 out of 10 times for me too. It's a pretty good looking map though. However, the worst, and believe me when I say I have a strong opinion about this map, is Banzai. I don't know how it's possible for a Call of Duty map to frustrate me this much, but anytime I see that we're going to be playing Banzai next, I'm fucking triggered to the point where I don't vote to skip. I straight up turn my Xbox off and go to bed. It looks so cool as well with the huge bridge, the foliage and the water, but if it doesn't play well then people aren't going to like it. Too many campers in these wee narrow tunnels makes for a very frustrating experience. Over on Modern Warfare 2, and we're kicking things off with Derail, a snowy map. Now I personally don't mind Derail, sure it's a bit big but it's not a terrible map, but I think Derail falls victim to the recurring theme that if a COD map isn't being played at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a hot summer's day, it's shite and vote to skip material. I'll toss Underpass in here too, not a bad map at all, but the darkness and the rain, I think it gets people down. So it's a good thing 2 of the 3 new maps in Modern Warfare 2's first DLC pack were a snow and rain map. Again, still decent maps. Nah, the map which no one likes in Modern Warfare 2 is Fuel. The biggest Call of Duty map when it came out, and boy was it pish. Not only did it take a half-hour expedition to get from one end of the map to another, half of the map is literally fucking empty. Have you ever seen a Call of Duty minimap with fuck all on it? You have now. Every fucking time I play this map, the match ends via time running out, so not only have you got the biggest map, you've also probably got the longest average game time per map, because there's no one to fucking shoot at, or your soldier will die of exhaustion trying to play the objective on Fuel. Seriously, get this map out of my sight. Black Ops maps are all pretty good. In fact, if there's any problems with Black Ops maps, it's not how they look, but how they sound, which is some achievement. Again, it's when the developers' ideas are getting a bit stretched, we get some poor DLC maps. The stuff that was left on the cutting room floor for the original game is chewed up and spat out for 15 quid a pop. Discovery, a cool looking map, it always seems to get skipped but when I'm playing. Same goes for Stockpile, I honestly can't remember playing this map at all. Like, I'm not even kidding. Do you know how you kinda have a memory of doing something cool on each map? Well, I genuinely could not give you directions for this map. I've played it that little, so I guess that it just goes to show how much this map was skipped as well. Downturn on Modern Warfare 3, you can fucking say that again. I think this is one of the worst maps of all time. I would love to know whose idea it was to just drop a shit ton of rubble in a map, see where it lands and go from there. I also think this map also goes down for me personally as the quickest skipped map of all time. My thumb hits that X button in the lobby at the speed of light as soon as I see this map pop up. In fact, I probably don't even need to see this map is up next to know I need to skip. With my eyes closed, I reckon I could sense the urge to skip this map. It's terrible, and I'm yet to find anyone else who likes this map. I didn't actually buy any Modern Warfare 3 DLC, so I don't even have an opinion on on those, so you're gonna have to give me your own thoughts on those yourselves. I bet there's a few shiters in there anyway. Not wasting any time here, we're heading straight for the DLC maps on Black Ops 2 and Treyarch. You need to stop feeding us all the stuff that wasn't good enough for the game at launch in the form of DLC. You know yourselves that Detour just isn't good enough, so why make us pay extra for it? I've heard audible groans when this map comes up in the pre-game lobby, so that just goes to show how bad it is. Here's an encore that nobody wanted. This map for me is one where the quote open area of the map is so open that no one dares to go there, so you're stuck with everyone camping around the edge of the map waiting on someone to run around a corner. Pod goes on the "I haven't played enough of this map to really know how good or bad it is" pile. I should probably get a shorter name for that, but again, it's skipped more often than not for me, this map. Treyarch also has this thing for gimmicks in their maps. Some are quite cool, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you're just left thinking, is this really necessary? Do we really need the map to flush like a fucking toilet a few times throughout the game? I'm not sure. Finally, on to the last COD we're going to analyse in this video, Ghosts. I'd be here all day if I were to give my opinions on the maps in this game for two reasons. One, 90% of them are shite, and two, they're all massive. For a game that's meant to be about fast-paced action, I've no idea why they made all the maps so huge, but I will single out one map in particular to look at. I want to give a very special shout out to Stonehaven, a map set in bonny Scotland, and that's where the positives end. I reckon Stonehaven is one of the most despised maps of all time. Like when people think of a bad Call of Duty map, I bet Stonehaven is one of the first maps people think of. It's practically a meme at this point, and it's so big that even snipers don't have the range to one-shot people. Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I bet that most of us can agree that Stonehaven is awful. And on that note, do let me know which individual maps you think are the worst from each Call of Duty game. If you're wondering why the last 3 COD games aren't in this video, it's because, well, I haven't really played enough of them to really know enough about the games, so like I said before, let me know your opinions on the maps in those games too. Also, if you disagree with any of the maps in this video, do let us know. I genuinely want to know if there's people out there that like Stonehaven and Downturn. A like on the video would be very much appreciated, as it always is. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.